There's a new scam in town and you need to know about it. There is a business called wholesaling, house wholesaling. Doesn't mean every wholesaler is a scammer. So what happens is you sell your house to a person who gets you under contract. Once you're under contract, that person then sells that home or offers that home for sale to other people. It's kind of scary, and you're going to see a real life story here that just happened in Stark County, Ohio. These are two things that you want to know if you're selling your house, because you may get approached by a wholesaler and not even know it.
We assisted some clients with not only the sale of their home, great smooth transaction, everything moving along wonderfully. I mean, would you agree?
Yes.
We find a home that is kind of their dream. So we were thinking we were in contract on a property that was the perfect property. We got within about a week of closing, and we've got a big surprise. The seller of the home, and this is really not casting blame on the seller. This is casting blame on those who will take advantage of sellers. And in this situation, they got mixed up with more than one wholesaling company. Now, this property was on the multiple listing service. It was agent represented. The agent was fantastic to work with. The danger here is that sometimes people don't share all information with us as agents, or maybe they are instructed to not share everything with us as agents. So therefore, he was not aware that his client was working with more than one wholesaler company. So about a week before closing, my client, so excited, goes out and drives by the house that they're about to close on. And she sees that part of the kitchen is now laying outside of the house. So, of course, my phone rings. We find out that through a chain of events, which is checking the auditor's site, the house is already transferred into somebody else's name. So what the seller ultimately did was they had more than one wholesaler selling a house, and they closed on this property before we had the chance to close. Now, this is even with us being in contract first. So we had a contract. Now, would we, if we had found this out prior to it closing, we could have salvaged this transaction. The seller would have been legally forced to sell it to us for our contracted price. But unfortunately, this seller worked with a wholesaler who potentially encouraged him to not share this information with the realtor he was working with. And there, of course, are attorneys involved at this point. Our clients, who we have not been able to find them anything, they are in, the dead of winter in Ohio, having to move out of the home that they sold, and they're happy to do so, the right thing to do. But this is increasing their expenses. They are moving into an Airbnb. They are putting their life in a storage unit. And this is all because people were uninformed. People don't always know the right questions to ask. And as realtors, we are learning every day that there are new avenues and new products for buying and selling homes that are outside of the traditional real estate company. And we have to protect not only ourselves as realtors, but we're bound as fiduciaries to protect our clients. And in this situation, had we not found out prior to, it is possible that it is very possible this could have closed a second time. Money would have been dispersed a second time. And once money is gone, it is very difficult to get it back.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I am a former escrow officer, and we are talking about wholesalers today and the dangers of wholesalers, specifically for sellers. what happens is usually they are preying on people that are in a tough situation and need to sell the home. And what happens is they assign the contract to another wholesaler, sometimes multiple other wholesalers, before the transaction actually transfers title. So in between you selling it to this buyer, there may be 2, 3, 4 other people in the middle that never take title to the home, but they collect a very big profit. They're 1099'd on it, but you're never made aware. So you could be selling your home for twice as much as you're selling it to this first wholesaler. But I think that's their game, is they know that you're in a tough situation.
So these wholesalers come along, they'll come to somebody that may have a house that has a problem, a roof issue, that kind of stuff. Major problem with the house. And they'll get that person to sell the house cheap.
Yeah, behind on taxes. Maybe the house was left to them and they don't want anything to do with it. They just want to get it sold. So yeah, what I've seen is the wholesalers will collect a lot of money in between, and they do nothing.
So
All
they'll
do,
sell it to multiple people.
Yeah.
And try to make a 10 to 50% margin.
Oh yeah.
Before it actually closes. So
Correct.
So it's basically like buying an option to buy the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of risk with it.
Yeah.